It's 3:47 a.m. You're awake again, staring at the ceiling, and you're thinking, I never used to be like this. What changed? If you're over 60 and struggling with sleep, you're not alone. Research shows that 1 in 2 people over 65 experience regular sleep problems. But here's what's interesting. Most doctors just write you a prescription, and that's the end of the story. Today, I'm going to share the 7 real reasons nobody talks about and practical solutions for each one. The best part, you can start trying these tonight. Make sure you watch until the end because reason number 6 is something you've probably never heard before. Let's dive in. First, we need to understand this. Not sleeping well after 60 is not normal. Yes, our sleep patterns change as we age, but that doesn't mean you should accept chronic insomnia. The most common thing I hear is, I'm getting older, I can't sleep, I just have to deal with it. No, you don't have to deal with it. There was a woman named Martha, 68 years old. When she came to see me, she'd been averaging 4 hours of sleep per night for the past 5 years. She was exhausted, irritable, forgetting everything. Her doctor prescribed sleeping pills. Did they work? Yes, they knocked her out, but did she feel better in the morning? No. Today, I'm going to share with you the same 7 things I told Martha. 3 months later, Martha is off the medication and sleeping 7 to 8 quality hours every night. Reason number 1. Your melatonin production drops. 2:15 to 4 a.m. The first reason is scientific but simple. Your body doesn't produce as much melatonin as it used to. What is melatonin? It's a hormone produced by your brain's pineal gland that tells you it's time to sleep. In your 20s, melatonin levels are great. In your 60s, they can drop by more than 50%. So, should I take melatonin pills, you're probably asking? Here's the secret. You can take melatonin supplements, but timing is everything. The solution in 3 steps. Support natural melatonin production. After 6 p.m., avoid bright lights. The blue light from phones, tablets, and TVs stops melatonin production. If you must use screens, turn on night mode or get blue light blocking glasses. Get sunlight exposure. Within the first hour of waking up, get 15 to 20 minutes of sunlight. This resets your body's internal clock and strengthens evening melatonin production. If you take melatonin supplements, 1 to 3 milligrams is enough, not 10 milligrams, and take it 1 to 2 hours before bed, not 10 minutes before you lie down. Simple, right? But most people get it wrong. Reason number 2, you're getting up to use the bathroom. Nocturia, nighttime urination. 70% of men over 60 and 50% of women wake up at least twice per night to use the bathroom. Robert, a 72-year-old retired teacher, was getting up 4 times every night. He told me, I just accepted this is my life now. But it doesn't have to be. Here's what's happening. As we age, our bladder capacity decreases, and for men, prostate issues can make this worse. For women, pelvic floor weakness can be a factor. The solution: stop drinking fluids 2 to 3 hours before bed. I know you've heard this before, but are you actually doing it? That evening cup of tea or water with dinner needs to go earlier. Avoid diuretics after 4 p.m. Coffee, tea, alcohol, and even certain foods like watermelon make you urinate more. Cut them out in the evening. Double void before bed. Use the bathroom, wait 5 minutes, then try again. This empties your bladder more completely. Elevate your legs 2 to 3 hours before bed. Sit with your legs up for 20 minutes. This helps fluid that's pooled in your legs during the day get processed earlier, not at 2 a.m. Robert tried these 4 things. Within 2 weeks, he went from 4 bathroom trips to 1, sometimes 0. That's life-changing. Reason number 3. Your medications are keeping you awake. This is the one nobody talks about. The average person over 65 takes 5 to 7 medications, and some of these medications are literally designed to keep you alert. Common culprits: blood pressure medications, especially beta blockers taken at night, can interfere with melatonin. Corticosteroids, like prednisone, these give you energy when you need rest. Diuretics, water pills taken late in the day, mean bathroom trips all night. Antidepressants, some SSRIs can disrupt sleep architecture. Thyroid medications, taking these at night can make you feel wired. The solution: never stop or change medications without talking to your doctor, but here's what you can do. Review timing with your pharmacist. Many medications can be taken in the morning instead of evening. Your pharmacist can tell you which ones. Ask your doctor about alternatives. If a medication is disrupting sleep, there may be another option in the same drug class that doesn't. Keep a medication sleep diary. For 1 week, write down what medications you take and when, and how you sleep. Show this to your doctor. Patterns will emerge. I had a patient, Susan, who was taking her blood pressure medication at 9 p.m. We worked with her doctor to move it to 7 a.m. She started sleeping through the night within 3 days. 3 days! Reason number 4. Pain and discomfort. Arthritis, back pain, joint stiffness, these aren't just daytime problems. They get worse at night when you're lying still in one position. The mistake most people make? They try to push through the pain at night, tossing and turning until they finally give up and take a pill at 3 a.m. Better solutions: optimize your sleep position. Back sleepers, put a pillow under your knees to reduce lower back pressure. Side sleepers, put a pillow between your knees to keep hips aligned. Stomach sleepers, try not to, but if you must, put a thin pillow under your pelvis. Heat therapy before bed. A warm bath or heating pad 30 to 60 minutes before sleep relaxes muscles and reduces inflammation. Gentle stretching routine. 5 to 10 minutes of light stretching before bed. Focus on areas that hurt. YouTube has great bedtime stretches for seniors videos. Consider your mattress. If your mattress is over 7 to 8 years old, it might be contributing to pain. You don't need an expensive one, but you need proper support. Timing pain medication. If you take pain relievers, time them so they're working when you're trying to sleep, not wearing off. Margaret, 71, had severe hip arthritis. She started doing 10 minutes of gentle yoga before bed and using a body pillow. She went from waking up 6 to 7 times in pain to sleeping 5 to 6 hour stretches. The pain didn't go away, but it stopped controlling her nights. Reason number 5. Digestive issues and heartburn. GERD, acid reflux, and indigestion. These spike when you lie down, and they're incredibly common after 60 because the valve between your stomach and esophagus weakens with age. Here's what makes it worse: large evening meals, spicy foods, alcohol, and lying down too soon after eating. The solution? Eat dinner earlier. Aim for 3 to 4 hours between dinner and bed. I know this isn't always convenient, but it's powerful. Smaller portions at night. Make lunch your biggest meal, dinner your smallest. Avoid trigger foods after 4 p.m. Tomato-based foods, citrus fruits, chocolate, mint, fatty or fried foods, caffeine, and alcohol. Elevate the head of your bed. Put blocks under the bed frame to raise it 6 to 8 inches. Don't just use more pillows. That can actually make reflux worse by bending your body. Sleep on your left side. Research shows this reduces acid reflux more than sleeping on your right. Stay upright after eating. Don't eat and then immediately sit in a recliner or lie on the couch. James, 69, had terrible heartburn every night. He took antacids before bed. They helped a little, But when he started eating dinner at 6 instead of 8 and elevated his bed, his heartburn dropped by 80%. He still takes antacids occasionally, but not every single night. Reason number 6. Anxiety about not sleeping. 10:45 to 12:30. Here's the cruel irony. The more you worry about not sleeping, the less you sleep. You know the pattern. It's 11 p.m. You're in bed. You're thinking, I need to fall asleep. Tomorrow's going to be terrible if I don't sleep. Why can't I sleep? It's been 20 minutes. Oh no, now it's been 30 minutes. I'm still awake. This is called sleep anxiety, and it's a vicious cycle. Your anxiety triggers your stress response, which releases cortisol, which wakes you up even more. The solution, and this might surprise you, the 20-minute rule. If you're not asleep after 20 minutes, get up, leave the bedroom, do something boring, read a dull book, fold laundry, listen to calm music. Do not check your phone or watch TV. When you feel sleepy, go back to bed. Stop clock watching. Turn your clock away from you. Checking the time only increases anxiety. Reframe your thoughts. Instead of, I must sleep, think, I'm resting my body, and that's valuable too. Remove the pressure. 4-7-8 breathing technique. Breathe in through your nose for 4 counts, hold for 7 counts, breathe out through your mouth for 8 counts. Repeat 4 times. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system and tells your body it's safe to sleep. Create a wind-down routine. Same activities, same order every night. Your brain learns, oh, we're doing these 3 things, that means sleep is coming. Linda, 66, would lie in bed for 2 to 3 hours worrying about not sleeping. When she started the 20-minute rule and stopped watching the clock, something interesting happened. She stopped dreading bedtime, and when she stopped dreading it, she started sleeping better. Reason number 7. You're napping wrong during the day. 12:30 to 1400. But I'm so tired during the day. I hear you. If you're not sleeping well at night, of course you're tired during the day. But here's the trap. Long afternoon naps or naps too late in the day steal from your nighttime sleep. Then you sleep poorly at night, then you're tired the next day, then you nap again. It's a cycle. The solution: keep naps short, 20 to 30 minutes maximum. Set an alarm. Any longer and you enter deep sleep, which makes you groggy and messes with nighttime sleep. Nap before 3 p.m., ideally between 1 and 2 p.m. After 3 p.m., you're too close to bedtime. Not every day. If you're sleeping well at night, you shouldn't need daily naps. If you must nap every day, that's a sign something else needs fixing. Find alternative energy boosters. Take a 10-minute walk, drink cold water, step outside in sunlight, do light stretches, have a healthy snack. Frank, 74, was napping 90 minutes every afternoon at 4 p.m., then staying awake until 2 a.m. We cut his nap to 20 minutes and moved it to 1 p.m. He complained for the first week. He was tired, but by week 2, he was sleeping from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., full nights. His daytime energy actually increased because his nighttime sleep improved. Conclusion and action steps. Okay, let's recap the 7 reasons. Dropping melatonin production, frequent bathroom trips, medications disrupting sleep, pain and discomfort, digestive issues, anxiety about not sleeping, poor napping habits. Here's your homework for tonight. Pick 2 of these to work on. Don't try all 7 at once. That's overwhelming. Pick the 2 that resonated most with you. For me, if I had to recommend 2 to start with, it would be fix your fluid intake and bathroom timing, reason number 2, create a proper wind-down routine and use the 20-minute rule, reason number 6. These 2 alone can dramatically improve your sleep within 1 week. Remember Martha from the beginning? She started with these 2. then added the melatonin support, then adjusted her dinner timing. Layer by layer, she transformed her sleep. You can do this. You don't have to accept sleepless nights as just part of aging. In the comments below, tell me, which of these 7 reasons was your biggest aha moment? Which 2 are you going to start with tonight? And if this video helped you, please hit the like button and subscribe. I create videos like this every week to help you live your healthiest life after 60. Sweet dreams, and I'll see you in the next video.